Super shiny diamond. Fuck, marry, kiss, kill between all the girls. Okay, seriously, this is just hypothetical. This answer has no bearing on any existing relationships. Girls, please don't take this response in any sort of meaningful way. I'm just doing as they asked. Oh god. I'd marry Sayori, kiss Monica, fuck Yuri, and kill Natsuki. Hypothetically, only hypothetically, in some crazy world where those are the things I would do. Oh, and I guess we do have a fifth girl, huh? But no fifth option, so I'd give Tiff a hug or something. Jeez, oh man, these questions. Sebo 3D. You like manga slash anime slash shonen, right? Well, Gogeta or Vegito. Which one you like better? Well, considering they're both just fusions of Vegeta and Goku, I think Vegito has the better appearance. It looks more like a mix of the two than Gogeta. But Gogeta has the better combination of the traits, so they both offer something different, somehow. Gogeta's dual voice thing is really weird, though. I think I'll say Vegito after all. FMC DDLC. There's a guy that I like called Slightly Simple, so can you help me set me up with him? Wasn't that the guy who thought I had a sister? Well, hey, if you're the girl he's interested in, you should try to get in touch. It sounds like the feeling's mutual, so one of you just needs to be bold and take the first step. Good luck, I hope it works out for you two. Let's see, Hamiltrash 88. How many buffalo could a buffalo if the buffalo was a buffalo? Well, I guess buffalo. Wolfav, what's your favorite meme? Honestly, it feels like memes have been getting dumber and more random or esoteric lately, but there's one meme I never got tired of, so I gotta go with Doge. Very wow, such cute. And by the way, that's pronounced Doge, like dojo minus the second O. If you don't believe me, go ask Strongbad about it. He is the one who coined the phrase. eDave64. Not sure if this will be better or worse than the other ones. Either way, I wish you the best of luck with this AMA. Have you seen good anime recently? I mentioned a bunch of shows before, but recently, well, I've been watching the second season of Konosuba. It's still going strong. I also started following Dragon Maid. Those are my top two for what's current. If you can still remember, how did you and Sayori first meet? Sorry, I just don't remember. It was too long ago. What is the optimal number of cats to own? Cats, huh? The best number of them to own is 0. Seriously, cats suck. They're fussy, scratchy, and entitled. Even when they're being affectionate, they feel like they're just using you. And they get into anything and everything, so they're great at ruining stuff. At least dogs can't climb, you know? Sandwich Authority Gov. How do you feel about you having 0 redeeming qualities or skills? Wow, dude, that's a really judgmental thing to say. I know I'm hardly the most talented person here, but you don't have to put me down for it. Seriously, I'm trying to get by just like everyone else. If you think I'm worthless, that's your business. The others like me plenty regardless. Let's see. Rakanisum. Hello, MC. It's me, Rakanisum, one of the Yuri fans. I hope people is being nice to you with the questions. Most of the people posting here is not too nice about their opinions of you for some reason. Anyways, here are my questions. Tell me about it. They can be pretty rude, huh? I don't put much stock in the opinions of internet strangers, but when you gotta answer everything you're asked, it's hard to ignore. Let's see. 1. What is your opinion about Yuri? And how did you get the idea about talking slowly and being considerate and patient with your Yuri for her to opening her feelings and friendship to you? I think Yuri's a sweetheart, but apparently she's mad at me now. I didn't get any specific ideas about how to interact with her. I just try not to make her uncomfortable. It's clear she struggles in social situations, so I try to show her it's okay and that I'm not judging her for it. 2. What is your opinion about Sonic the Hedgehog? Don't know if Yuri told to all the club that I'm doing a fanfiction of the club with Sonic, and all of you are there except the super new members. I hope you all are waiting for it to be completed. You're making a Sonic fanfic about the club? Alright. You know, Sonic gets a lot of guff for the direction his series has taken, but I always thought he was a cool character regardless. It's not like all those harebrained ideas are his fault. I hope your fic can do him justice. 3. What is your opinion on Fort and Willikins, the super hardcore Natsuki fans? Didn't Natsuki mention them earlier? I guess they must be really big fans. That's fine. Maybe they can tell she's a good person inside too. I hope she feels less insecure having some dedicated supporters. 4. Why it was so hard for you to consider joining the Literature Club? As a dude, if I have the chance to join a club or something that is full of beautiful girls, I would not think twice about joining. Ha. It's not as simple as you make it sound. Yeah, there are a lot of cute members, but I was meeting 2 of them for the first time, and their leader is a school legend. And, you know, I'm not that into literature. I'm glad I stayed, but I had enough reasons to hesitate, trust me. Have a nice day, MZ. I'll try to. And 7. Why did you confess to Sayori? You were in earshot of a girl who just finished... you were in earshot of a girl you just finished sucking. Furthermore, Sayori had just told you her entire personality was a lie, something you felt was a betrayal. Was it just a lie to comfort a sick person? Do you prefer the happy Sayori you knew, or the real Sayori? Excuse me? Sucking? Oh wow, you really did find out about that. But how? Did I let something slip? I'll have to apologize to Yuri later. No wonder she's so angry. But getting to the question at hand, I confessed to Sayori because those are my true feelings. In fact, I think it's pretty accusatory that you would suggest otherwise. You think I'd lie to her because of her illness? That's fucked up. And it's not about what I prefer. I don't think of it as old Sayori and new Sayori. She's the same person she always was. I just saw a side of her I didn't know she had. She's still the girl I grew up with and one of the best people I've ever known. I didn't realize how I felt about her at first, but she helped me see how special what we have is. So don't you dare question my devotion to her, alright? Pt.24. This might sound weird, but which timeline are you from? The one where you helped Natsuki bake cupcakes for the festival, or the one where you helped Yuri make the banner? I mean, it probably doesn't matter, but with all the time stuff happening around here, it can get a little confusing. Follow-up question, does Sayori know about the finger-sucking thing? What? As far as I know, we're all from the same timeline. And I guess maybe there's some alternate reality where I helped Natsuki instead. But no, I helped Yuri make the banner and the decorations. I don't get why you had to ask this to begin with. If you guys know about the finger thing, then Sayori probably does too. Apparently nothing is sacred around here. Yoshidaki48, have you read Homestuck? Yeah, I did. I thought it was pretty great. It got off to kind of a slow start, then snowballed out of control and coasted into an even slower finish. But I'd say it's a worthwhile story. You can afford to cut a lot of fluff, but it's still good. Crouton Cringeboy 13, what do you think about bread? It's bread. It's nothing to get excited about. Maximum Dennis, are you buff? Am I buff? Do you see these muscles? Yeah, me neither. Mara Sargon, are you aware of the fact that you are basically a living camera for those of us on the sub? Because you are. It's the reason we know all of these things that we shouldn't. We watch you guys on a live feed titled Doki Doki Literature Club. Don't bother trying to figure out how you were bugged, or trying to undo it. Monica and Sayori know, but they can't do anything about it. In fact, we actually bugged Sayori for a little while as well. Her camera feed was called Doki Doki Rain Clouds. I'll let you figure out why. On the bright side, you can tell Yuri and Natsuki about this. It might vindicate you, or not. I don't really give a shit. Well, that would certainly explain it. That doesn't mean it's at all likely, though. Who would ever bother to plant bugs on us in the first place? It's not like we're that special or interesting. And would this really make Yuri and Natsuki feel better? Wouldn't it sound like a pathetic excuse? I don't know how all this info got out, but I'd rather own up to it than try to explain some conspiracy theory. And 7. Why is it that Natsuki does her AMA in your kitchen, Yuri does hers in your bedroom, but you have to do it in the street outside Sayori's house? That's... wait, we posted the AMA from the classroom. Is this recording actually live? You know what? Forget it! That wouldn't even be the weirdest thing to happen today. Natsuki wanted to bake cupcakes during hers, and we couldn't all go to her house for it, so I volunteered my kitchen. Yuri was extremely nervous about hers, so we gave her my room as a neutral space to work with. I think it helped. And like I said, it's a lovely day. It's been a temperate autumn. Speaking of why doesn't Sayori lock her door when you haven't come over in years? Now, it hasn't been years since I visited Sayori. At least, I don't think it has. Besides, we live in a good neighborhood. There's no trouble to be had around here. And even if she did lock it, I know where she hides the key. We trust each other enough for that, at least. If you consider Monica out of your league, does that mean you rank her above Sayori? Thinking of Monica as out of my league had nothing to do with Sayori. She just has naturally higher status because of her performance in our school. That doesn't mean Sayori is any lesser. I don't measure people that way. It's stupid. Monica's accolades have no bearing on my opinion of anyone else. Simple as that. Now, XRGTMX. Does MC stand for Merry Christmas? By the way, Merry Christmas. Well, it does mean Merry Christmas sometimes, and I guess it could be my initials considering I was born on the 23rd of December. That's actually Dan Salvato's birthday. But right now, it's the start of November. At least wait until next month. Doc Doferson, PhD. Oh goodness, I hope that I'm not too late. I've been busy with it, or with Christmas and all. Not that I have too many questions or anything, I just want to be present. Huh? Busy with Christmas? Does the sub just celebrate early or what? This is so strange. Hey MC, this may sound weird, and I honestly don't know if this is a unique perspective, but I feel like we're somehow very deeply connected. Like, intimately so. Like, as if you are me, from a different place and a different time. Different sides of the same coin, so to say. It's hard to explain. I just feel like if I were to try, I could see through your eyes. Okay, the rest of this is kind of weirding me out too. Do you think we really have that much in common? I don't know, man. I have no clue what to say to that. And yet, even though I feel like we have this uncanny connection, I know so little about you. Strange, isn't? Do you ever feel like your head isn't empty? That could be perceived as rude, I'm sorry. Have you ever felt like there's something that's distinctly not you up in there in your head? You know, now that you mention it, I've noticed that I have sort of an odd intuition. Like, there's a little voice in the back of my head that pushes me one way or another. I've never given it much thought, I just go with the flow. So I'd like to ask you to break something. Smash a vase, or throw a chair out a window maybe. Let's not get crazy here. Meklim. Hello there. Most important question. How is Sayori? I hope she's fine. 0. Also important. How are you? Sayori and I are both doing fine. We survived the weekend and the festival, so we're okay. 1. Horde or Alliance? I've played both sides of WoW, but I kind of prefer Alliance. Maybe I'm dull, but playing as a regular human just feels right. Like, it's something I could actually do myself in a world where magic exists. 2. What do you think about club members? I'm also very curious what you think about new members. I shared how I felt about them already, including the new people. Do you think there's any chance more will join? Even with this extra couple, it feels pretty full already. 3. These AMAs have a weird traditional question about chibis. I already can predict your answer, I think, but I don't want to break tradition, so what do you think about them? I think chibis are cute. It seems like everything is more adorable when it's smaller. It'd be awesome to see once of all the club members. Are they really out there? Knowing you guys, I'm sure it's already happened. 4. How it feels to be the only boy in club filled with incredibly cute girls. Very late Merry Christmas and very early Happy New Year. I spoke before about being the only guy here, but I think it's very early for both of those greetings. You guys really are weird. Blue Blur 3237. Thanks for doing an AMA with the club, MC. I know this really isn't your kind of style, but I do have an important question. Based from what you've seen with the other AMAs, how do you feel about our RDDLC community in general? Do you approve of our fandom towards you and your club members? What would you change about us and our activities? Personally, I think this fandom is very strange. Like, seriously, we're a high school book club. How the heck did Monica gain so much presence online? But I can't complain about your enthusiasm. It seems like a lot of you would be better members than me. I guess you're all here because you want to be, so there's nothing wrong with that. Although, maybe you should draw the line somewhere. Like, I've heard tell of fan art, and fanfics, and fan games, and lewds. I don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes, but it's kind of scary. Just try not to go crazy, I guess. What's up with this one? It's enormous. Can we get this into a readable format?
Way ahead of you, Hallie. Have fun with this one.
Doki Doki Literature Club is the title of this poem. Hey, MC, you might have gotten a few questions about voices in the back of your head and us seeing the world through your eyes, but you've dismissed them as rather absurd and breezed past them without much thoughts. Think about this, MC stands for main character. You're the main character of a game called Doki Doki Literature Club, a game that was originally intended to be a cutesy dating simulator where the player is placed into your shoes and joins the literature club. The core mechanic is writing your poem, which we choose those 20 words based on the character we want to pursue, Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri. Then we move on to the next day and get an exclusive scene. However, Monica was never given a route. After a while, she became self-aware as a result of being the club president. Over time, she became infatuated with the player, her only link to the outside world, and began tampering with the character traits of Sayori in order to prevent her from confessing to you. The trait she messed with? Sayori's depression. Her happy-go-lucky attitude was more real during the start of the game. The day that she convinced you to join the literature club, her depression was there, it was just a lot more mild and manageable. Monica increased it tenfold to try and prevent her from spending time with you so that we, as the player, would feel more inclined to just spend time with her. And here's the part that's gonna hurt you. It doesn't end well. Sayori ends up hanging herself on the morning of the festival. You walk in on her and go on a short monologue about how you could have saved her, but in truth, accept or deny her confession. She would have met the same fate either way. But that's not all. In fact, we're only just getting started. That's how Act 1 goes, and in Act 2, she's gone from the game entirely. Nobody remembers her except Monica, who begins dropping less subtle hints that she knows the truth of her reality being a sham, but still can't seem to get through that we should be spending more time with her. In an additional effort, she makes Natsuki's home issues worse, as well as creating a much more obsessive yandere-type Yuri. Again, despite them having these issues from the start, Monica increased to them to make them less desirable. It all comes to a climax on Friday, where the 3 remaining girls are trying to decide who should help you. You can either pick Monica or Monica. When Yuri hears this, she becomes very aggressive and her obsessive traits shine through. The other 2 are scared off and end up just leaving you 2 alone. Yuri confesses her love to you, but just like Sayori, she'll kill herself no matter what you say in response, stabbing herself in the stomach twice, but then in the chest once before collapsing onto the floor. You then stay in the club room for the entire weekend before you're found. Natsuki walks in on the 2 of you, sees Sayori's dead body and just hightails out of there. Then there's Monica, who comes in, apologizes to us, the player, for keeping us here in the club room all weekend, even though we can skip through it. It's possible she doesn't realize that time moves faster for us in this master reality, followed by her deleting everything in the game, leaving just Monica. Which brings us to Act 3, where nobody is sure if you exist or not. Monica isn't really talking to you. Well, she tries to stay in character at the very start, but it doesn't last long. She admits to everything she did, increasing Sayori's depression, Yuri's self-harm and obsessiveness, and Natsuki's domestic abuse, before confessing her feelings for us, the player, leaving us with two choices: say yes or delete her character file. Even if we do love Monica in return, it's best to delete her, as it shows her the true nature of her role as the club president in Act 4. In Act 4, after you delete Monica and she restores the world, Sayori assumes the role of the club president. Things seem fairly standard, maybe even slightly better. Sayori is mentally better, Yuri and Natsuki seem to get on better, etc. But at the end of the first day, Sayori reveals that she is now self-aware, and expresses the exact same desire to hoard the player to herself that Monica did. Some omnipresent Monica being steps in and deletes the game once and for all at this point, leaving nothing but a note from Monica. But guess what, MC? I'm still not finished. That's the base game. That halibabica guy Monica keeps talking about, he's a mod maker. He's created a mod that takes place as a sort of Act 5, where Monica and Sayori are still aware and try one last shot for happiness. These should be all of the questions that are now cleaned up. 1. While you can't remember how you and Sayori met, you weren't programmed/scripted to. Your first day of existence was technically the day Sayori invited you to the club. All your memories before that were just fabricated. 2. How people know all of this information that they shouldn't, like Yuri sucking your finger. They're all events that happen in the game, and we see them through your eyes. 3. Your method for writing poems? We select those 20 words for you. In a way, we decide your fate by choosing which girl you spend time with. 4. Why are you called MC? Well, really, you're not. We choose your name when we boot up the game. MC is just a nickname that our DLC came up with for you to stand for main character. 5. All the Merry Christmas and Smash Ultimate questions you've been getting despite it being September over there. It's actually November. It's not September over here. At the time of writing this, tomorrow is New Year's Eve, a time that you will likely never get to see unless Hallie decides to write this mod that far into the future. 6. The reason a book club gained this much attention on a subreddit. The game you're all stars of was groundbreaking and captured the hearts of millions through heartache and heartbreak. The subreddit isn't for the book club, it's for the game. You can't protect the fourth wall forever, halibabica, assuming you do decide to put this in despite it being late. Or are you too much of a coward? Oh, I get it now. Yeah, that does explain a lot, but I gotta admit, I didn't think anybody would post their entire fanfic on here. I guess all those other comments must have been references to this, huh? It sounds like a good story, but it could use some fleshing out. What's there is pretty bare bones, but you have a great concept to work with. Maybe even make a game out of it. That medium would probably suit it better. Anyway, thanks for sharing. No wonder everybody was so confused.